Dirty Dan. I don't know what you mean. I'm Dirty Dan.
It's absolutely amazing.
I'm Dirty Dan.
Whoa, Dirty Dan.
Slashers. That special category of villains that gave us the false hope.
7 slasher killers you have 0 chance surviving. I feel like some of these also can be solved with a bullet and or grenade and or heavy artillery and maybe some help from friends, coordinated friends. Yeah, I feel like a lot of this shit can be handled accordingly. You know what I'm saying?
Hope that if we were just smart enough, we could survive. Don't run in a straight line. Don't go upstairs. Don't say, "I'll be right back." Simple rules, right? Wrong. Today, we're setting aside the amateur hour killers and focusing on the elite, the top 1% of maniacs who don't care about your rules, your logic, or your pathetic will to live. Get ready to meet a gallery of killers who would turn your survival strategy into a bad joke. They're stronger, crueler, and in many cases, simply cannot be stopped. Before we dive into this bloodbath of hopelessness, do yourself and the algorithm a favor. Maybe, just maybe, they'll skip your house. Now, let's meet the masters of the massacre.
Candyman.
Let's start with a villain you personally invite into your life. Meet Candyman.
And it's
not some
nuts.
maniac who breaks down
Why
your
would you say
door.
that? And he was
He's
the first
an
person
urban
too.
legend, a
First
specter
nigga to pull
born
up.
from pain and social injustice, who appears if you're foolish enough to say his name 5 times into a mirror. He is living proof that curiosity didn't just kill the cat, it also gutted it with a rusty hook and hung its entrails like Christmas tinsel. Candyman's strength is that he's more of an idea than a man. He's a myth that feeds on the faith of his followers. The more people believe in and fear his legend, the more powerful he becomes. He can teleport, appear in reflections, and
he's black.
Has superhuman strength. His weapon, a grotesque hook in place of a hand, isn't just a tool of carnage. It's a symbol of his own brutal death, a constant reminder of the pain that created him. He's not just a killer, he's a poet of the macabre, with a seductive voice that hypnotizes you right before he tears you apart. His weakness? That's the cruelest.
His weakness is white women.
Part. His only weakness is being forgotten. If people stop telling his story, he fades away. But in trying to prove he doesn't exist, you only feed the legend, making him stronger. It's a deadly paradox. To defeat him, you need the world to forget him, but your own actions to expose him ensure he's remembered forever. You unwittingly become his greatest evangelist, spreading his gospel with your own blood. His method is pure psychological torture. He doesn't kill you right away. He haunts you, appears to others, commits murders, and frames you for them. He destroys your life, your reputation, and your sanity piece by piece. He wants you to feel the same despair and isolation that he felt. He wants you to become part of his legend, not as a victim, but as his successor. Death at his hand is almost a release after the mental torment he inflicts. You wouldn't survive because your intellectual arrogance would be your undoing. You'd say his name, maybe as a joke or for a college thesis, thinking you're above superstition. And in that moment, you've already lost. He would choose you, not to kill you, but to transform you. You'd end up becoming the new Candyman, a new...
Yeah, I don't need to become no new Candyman, cuz I'm good on that, my G. Yeah, I'm good on that, Preem.
horror story to be told in whispers, trapped forever between the myth and the mirror.
Be my victim.
If you thought Jason Voorhees was the only silent monster in the woods, think again. Meet Johnny, the protagonist of In a Violent Nature. And when I say protagonist, I mean the movie follows him patiently as he walks through the forest and...
Which one? I already did it. I saw your ass do it. I'm like, all right. GG's, brother. If I see you later, you know, if I see you later, it probably ain't you. Nigga, you're possessed. I'm pretty sure there's some bees and shit gonna come out your mouth and eyelids, but, you know, more power to you, my boy.
dismembers teenagers. Johnny isn't a
Nah, I haven't heard why they made the movie. I ain't gonna lie.
vengeful ghost in the traditional sense. He's more like a force of nature, an undead being who was disturbed and is now simply resolving the issue. Johnny's strength is his simplicity and his persistence. He doesn't run. He doesn't have to. He walks with a steady, methodical pace, like time itself. He's the personification of inevitability. You can run, but you'll eventually get tired. You can hide.
Bitch, you mean to tell me all you do is just... Nigga, alright. So all I gotta do is a brisk power walk and I can outpace you. You know what I'm saying? Because all you do is walk, you don't get no faster. What is this? This is 7 slasher killers. You have 0 chance of surviving. What's good though, brother Black? Oh yeah, we already started the Denzel weekend. I think I'm about 2 or 3 shots in. So you know what I'm saying? I was just about to say, where's brother Black? Where's Kaz? You know what I'm saying? Where's the crew at? You know what I'm saying? The other responsible ones, they have like, you know, obligations and things they're doing right now. If you walk right.
But he has all the time in the world. He's incredibly strong and seems immune to pain. He doesn't have a master plan. His goal is singular: retrieve the locket that was stolen from his grave, and he will walk through anyone who gets in his way. His weakness is, theoretically, giving back what was stolen. But the film shows us the futility of this. The locket is with a group of kids who are being hunted and picked off one by one. Communication with Johnny is impossible. He's not a villain you can negotiate. The futility of this. The locket is with a group of kids who are being hunted and picked off one.
So he tried to, like, you know what I'm saying? Bro, oh brother. I low-key want to watch this movie, but I know if I watch it's gonna piss me off.
By one. Communication with Johnny is impossible. He's not a villain you can negotiate with. He's like a bear whose den has been invaded. He doesn't want to talk. He wants to eliminate the threat. He's only...
Even though I am a bear, you can take a bear down, nigga. Just aim at its vital points at a reasonable distance. Show's over.
Weakness is his objective, but achieving it requires you to survive him long enough to understand what he wants, which is practically impossible. What makes Johnny so terrifying is the film's perspective. We follow him. We see the world through his monotonous and violent existence. There's no suspenseful music to announce his arrival. There's only the sound of his heavy footsteps and the rustling of leaves. He's not a monster that jumps out at you. He's a constant presence that slowly, surely approaches. His kill...
So again, he's kind of like a Jason Voorhees archetype. Okay. I'm here now. Hey, man. Deadass.
Kills are practical, almost mechanical.
Here now.
He uses whatever is available,
vibes.
a hook, a log, his bare hands, to execute his victims with a cold, dispassionate efficiency. You wouldn't survive because you'd underestimate his simplicity. You'd see him walking slowly and think you can get away. But in the forest, the terrain is treacherous. You'd trip, you'd get tired, you'd get lost, and he...
Actually, I wouldn't be there. I'm black, and I would probably have somebody with... If I don't have one, a firearm. So, no, nigga.
He would just keep coming. That steady rhythm would become the most terrifying sound in the world, the drumbeat of your own execution. You wouldn't die in an epic confrontation. You'd die exhausted, realizing too late that you can't outrun something that never stops.
Come on, you ugly son of a bitch! We're right!
I would survive that.
Let's move on to a horror icon who proves that size doesn't matter. Meet Charles Lee Ray, aka Chucky. He's a serial killer who, to cheat death, uses a voodoo ritual to transfer his soul into the hottest toy of the season, a good guy doll. The result is a 3-foot-tall nightmare with the vocabulary of a sailor and the morals...
I'm about to say, now, Chucky, I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. I fuck with you, Chucky, but I'm fucking you up. You're not doing shit to me, brother. Like, I get it, you're a little dog, you can stab ankles, you can do a whole bunch of fucked up shit, but my nigga, I'm not taking no chances with you. That ass. I'm melting your low ass. I'm melting you until you are a pile of plastic just stuck somewhere, my nigga. And then after that, I'm gonna fucking melt that down again. Like, come on, bro. And then I'm gonna punt it. Like, Chucky, you not doing shit, nigga. I'm sorry, bro.
Of a sociopath. Chucky's greatest strength is deception. Who would ever suspect a doll? He can move around undetected, spy on conversations, and strike when no one is looking. He uses his innocent appearance to manipulate, especially children, turning a kid's best friend into his terrified accomplice. He's small, which makes him a hard target, and allows him to hide in places no normal-sized killer could. He is proof that the deadliest things come in small packages. His weakness is that, at the end of the day, he's stuck in a plastic body. While he's surprisingly strong for his size, he can still be contained, damaged, or destroyed. However, this weakness is constantly overcome by his primary motivation, transferring his soul into a human body,
please,
preferably
like,
that
come
of
on
the first.
now you know goddamn good and well, like real niggas are not getting caught lacking. We not getting caught lacking by Chucky. Come on, my nigga.
Person he revealed his true identity to. This creates a desperate race against time for his victims. And even if his doll body is destroyed, his soul can always find a new plastic host. Chucky's method is a mix of brutality and dark comedy. He's incredibly sadistic and loves to taunt his victims before killing them with whatever his little plastic hands can grab. Knives, rulers, hammers. His personality is what makes him so memorable. He's not a silent killer. He's loud, arrogant, and full of terrible one-liners. He revels in the chaos he creates, laughing hysterically as everyone's life around him falls apart. You wouldn't survive because, let's be honest, you would never believe it. If a kid told you their doll was alive and committing murders, you'd send them to therapy. You'd ignore all the signs, all the coincidences, right up until the moment you tripped over him in the middle of the night and heard a, "Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?" followed by the sound of a kitchen knife being unsheathed. Your logic and your skepticism would be your death sentence.
And now it's time to play.
Yeah, alright, buddy. Not this Negroid.
Brace yourself for one of the most brutal and controversial films on the list. In High Tension, the killer is a mysterious, burly, grimy man who invades an isolated farmhouse and begins a massacre. He is the personification of raw, senseless terror. He doesn't...
So you said he's a man. You said he's a man, correct? So he's a man, flesh, blood, bone. Boom.
Have an iconic mask or a tragic backstory. He's just a monster who shows up at your door in the middle of the night, and his only goal seems to be inflicting the maximum amount of pain and suffering possible. This killer's strength is his relentless savagery. He has no pattern. He kills with an unhinged fury, using anything he can find: a straight razor, a dresser, a circular saw. He's incredibly strong and seems completely immune to pain or fear. He pursues his victims with the tenacity.
He might be immune to pain and fear, but he's not immune to death. Get this nigga out the way.
Of an animal, turning a quiet country
Blick will
home
solve this
into
with
his
ease.
personal
Exactly.
slaughterhouse. The
Fuck outta
violence
here.
isn't just a means to an end, it's the end itself. The weakness? Well, this is where things get complicated and brilliant. Massive spoiler alert ahead. The big twist of the film reveals that the killer never existed. The real murderer is the protagonist, Marie, who has a split personality. The killer is a manifestation of her obsessive, psychotic love for her friend Alex. He is
Oh,
the
wow. Damn, I wish he hadn't told me that, because now I kind of want to watch it. High Tension? Oh, wow. Okay.
personification of her desire to save Alex from anyone who gets in her way, including Alex's own family. What makes this villain so impossible to defeat is that he isn't real.
Statement does still stand. Yeah, a blick will solve all this shit. Get rid of both of them personalities. High Tension? Let's look it up right now. Hold on, cause nigga. I'm about to say, hold on. You know, I fuck with a twist. Even though we got kind of spoiled, but he just say spoiler alert. But like, I still kind of want to see that. Hold on.
Nigga!
2020. I mean,
How do you fight a hallucination that has real physical
what did you just say?
strength because it's actually real? How do you fight a hallucination that has
How do you fight a who?
real physical strength because it's not real? How do you fight a hallucination that has real physical strength because it's actually the person? How do you fight a hallucination that has real physical strength because it's actually real? How do you fight a hallucination that has
A hallucination, huh? Why I never heard of these people other than Chucky. That's all you've heard of Chucky? See, Breezy, I need to get you hip. There's a lot of other killers out there besides that. Besides just Chucky and Freddy and Michael Myers and Scream. There's some other niggas out there. My nigga said hallucination though. That is crazy.
real physical strength because it isn't real? How do you fight a hallucination that has real physical strength because it's actually the person standing next to you? Marie, in her psychotic state, exhibits inhuman strength and resilience. She is the monster and the final girl at the same time. You can't get away from her because she's your only ally. You are trapped in a nightmare created by the mind of the person you trust the most. You wouldn't survive because you'd be playing a game where you don't understand the rules.
Alright, wrong. If I have a hallucination and I see a big nigga coming at me with any type of weapon or just coming at me in any type of way, shape, or form where it's not welcome. Boom City, man. Boom Howard. Fuck are you talking about? We're not doing this.
You'd be running from a monster while the real threat would be holding your hand, telling you to keep running. You'd trust her, depend on her, right up until the final shocking moment when you realize the monster you feared was inside your savior all along. It's a betrayal so deep and terrifying, your brain simply...
Hey, don't tell me no more, because we're gonna watch that. Don't tell me. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Tommy Boy. Now, I do know about Tommy Boy, and I do want to watch the OG Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think the one that came out like in the 90s or 80s. Oh, I know this nigga. Yeah, you know Leatherface. You know what I'm saying? You know Leatherface. You know Tommy Boy. Now, Tommy Boy, he is still human, if I'm not mistaken. I know there's been a different, like, you know, renditions of that nigga, but in the original canon, he's just a big reincarnated nigga. He's a butcher, but also likes to do like taxidermy and he just likes to fuck with animals and skin them alive and look at their organs and he just likes flesh and blood and weird shit. But he's reincarnated, but still human. Strong, big, but human. So also with the mind of like a fucking 7-year-old. You can just shoot this nigga, bro.
Texas, and to a family that redefines the word dysfunctional. While the movie's title highlights the chainsaw, the real terror is the Hewitt family, or Sawyer, depending on the version.
Yeah, and this family is fucking batshit crazy. Like Tommy Boy, he's nuts, but his family... Actually, Tommy Boy ain't even really... Well, he is because he's a product of his family. But, like, he still had the mind of a kid. His family just batshit fucking crazy, too.
And at the center of this nightmare of cannibalism and insanity is Leatherface. He's not the evil genius, he's the muscle, the attack dog for a family of psychopaths who view outsiders as livestock. Leatherface's strength is his terrifying presence and his raw power. He's a mountain of a man wearing a grotesque mask made of human skin to hide his deformity. And of course, there's the chainsaw. It's not just a weapon, it's an instrument of psychological terror. The deafening roar and the smell of gasoline are enough to paralyze anyone with fear before the blade even gets close. He's less of a man and more of a natural disaster with a two-stroke engine. Leatherface's weakness is that he's not the brains of the operation. He is, in many ways, a victim of his own abusive family. He has the mentality of a child obeying the orders of the rest of the clan, especially the sadistic Sheriff Hoyt. He can be tricked or distracted, but only for a moment. He isn't inherently evil in a calculating sense. He's a tool of violence, shaped and aimed by others. But that weakness doesn't make him any less deadly. In fact, his lack of complex reasoning makes him even more unpredictable. The family's method is that of a well-oiled trap. They work together. The sheriff stops you on the road. The gas station owner sends you in the wrong direction, and all roads lead back to their house where Leatherface is waiting. They don't hunt you in the city. They lure you to their slaughterhouse. Once you're there, you're their property. You will be tortured, terrorized, and eventually served for dinner. You wouldn't survive because you wouldn't be fighting a single killer. You'd be fighting a system, an entire town that conspires to lead you to your doom. Every person you turn to for help would be part of the trap. You'd run from Leatherface only to fall into the arms of the sheriff, who would just drive you right back to him. It's an endless cycle of despair. You're not an opponent, you're the harvest.
Yeah. I'm still shooting this nigga.
If you thought getting lost in the woods was bad, wait until you meet the locals. In Wrong Turn, we're not talking about bears or wolves. We're talking about a family of inbred, cannibalistic mountain men in the backwoods of West Virginia. They aren't supernatural monsters. They are the terrifying result of what happens when genetics and civilization go very, very wrong. The strength of these cannibals lies in their knowledge of the terrain and their sheer savagery. They are expert hunters. The forest is their playground and their hunting ground. They move with surprising agility, climbing trees and hiding with a skill that would make a predator animal jealous. They use primitive traps like barbed wire and pits with stakes, and communicate with a series of chilling clicks and grunts. They are the definition of apex predators. Their weakness is that they aren't invincible. They are flesh and blood. They can be hurt, they can be killed. However, they are incredibly resistant to pain and fight with a desperate ferocity. And the biggest problem? They are never alone. If you manage to take one down, you can be sure that his brothers, cousins, and who knows what else are coming for you, and they are angry. To fight one is to declare war on the entire clan. Their method is that of hunter-gatherers, where gatherers refers to collecting car parts and belongings from their victims, and hunters refers to, well, hunting you. They disable your vehicles, forcing you into the woods on foot, and then the chase begins. They're in no hurry. They amuse themselves with the fear of their prey, and when they catch you, the fate is worse than death. You'll be taken to their filthy cabin to be dismembered and eaten, or maybe kept alive for a while for their entertainment. You wouldn't survive because you are a fish out of water. You're a city creature, used to GPS and paved roads. In their forest, you are loud, clumsy, and completely lost. Every twig you snap is an alarm bell for
Very
them.
good
Your
question,
attempt
Breezy.
at setting a trap
Also,
would be
I did see this movie before. Wrong. Well, I've seen all the Wrong Turns. But yeah, they're being white. But also, they have no business being there. But these niggas are just like inbred, mutated niggas. They're mutated from inbreeding. This all can be handled with a bullet as well, you know. But they're not equipped for this type of shit. And they're like hillbilly inbreeds. So they've just been like, you know, hunting rabbits, and you know, they're used to using like bows and hatchets and shit like that, hunting off the land. These whites aren't.
pathetic compared to theirs. You would
Fuck
be
you and your
hunted,
little brother
cornered,
with
and
autism, nigga.
I'm pretty sure one of them does, but sorry. I'm pretty sure one of them does, but yeah.
become just another story of people who went missing in the Appalachians.
And Friday the 13th, my nigga Jason. I forgot to do my intro. He did it at a good time too.
Finally, the titan of summer camp.
Let's
the
talk
sultan
about
of
it.
slashers, the man behind the hockey
Let's
mask,
talk about it.
Jason Voorhees. Starting as a revenge tale for his mother, Jason evolved over a
Y'all think niggas is getting Jason out the way? I'm not gonna hold you. You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do when Jason big ass ever pull up on me, bruh? This what I'm gonna do. Depending on where I'm at. Your little brother cool, Dan. Fuck everybody else, little brother. Thanks, man. Whenever, I mean, I don't have a little brother, but thanks, man. But if I had the choice, if Jason is pulling up on me, trying to press me on some bullshit, nigga, and he's scared of water, drowning. Breezy, see, you fucking smart. That's why I fought with you. I'm like, bruh, just get a body of water. I'm black, but I can swim. I'm Michael Blelps. I'm about to say, let me get near a body of water. a pond, a lake, I'm gonna stand in that bitch and I'm gonna be like, what you gonna do? Now he does fight in water. Don't get it twisted. He will still pull up, but he's not. He's gonna be more, like standoffish. Like, but like nigga, get by a body of water or drown that nigga in some way, shape, or form. Like nigga, come on, bro.
Dozen films, from a drowned boy to a deformed man to an unstoppable zombie
Yeah, I
and even a
swims,
space
so I'll be
cyborg.
straight.
He's not just a killer, he's a concept, a force of nature that really, really hates happy teenagers. Jason's strength is his super.
It's not the fact that he hates happy teenagers. He hates he hates watching people fuck, because that was the whole reason why he drowned, because the camp counselor and the other shorty, they was fucking when he was drowning. It's crazy. Nah, that ass, I'm gonna be like, bro, I'm a clown his goof ass, because he is a little slow. So, I'm gonna clown his ass. I'm gonna be in water, and I know you scared of water, stanky ass nigga.
Supernatural resilience. He's been stabbed, shot, drowned, electrocuted, blown up, and even dragged to hell. And he always comes back. He doesn't
It's true,
feel
though.
pain. He doesn't get tired. He doesn't speak. He just walks with a terrifying
Because he's been. Yeah, look at him. Look at him. Look at baby Jason.
determination toward his goal, killing anyone who dares set foot in Crystal Lake. He has superhuman strength, capable of crushing skulls with his bare hands or punching through a wooden door.
Look how
His
big that
weakness?
nigga
Good
head
luck
is.
finding one that works twice. In some movies, he has a residual fear of water or a connection to his mother, but most of the time, these weaknesses are just temporary pauses in his murderous rampage. The only
That is true. Sometimes they are just pauses. That's why I said, don't get it twisted. He does fight in water, and he will still come fuck you up. But hey, that's a little break that I need just to skedaddle.
way to defeat him is usually through some kind of final confrontation involving the final girl who incapacitates him temporarily until the next sequel. Defeating Jason isn't a victory, it's a postponement. Jason's method is direct and brutal. He uses
Yo, what movie was this? I want to watch this one. I haven't seen this Jason in a minute. The movie where the black nigga was boxing Jason up. Which movie was this? I want to watch this one.
his iconic machete, but he's not limited to it. Axes, harpoon guns,
If this is dead ass be us, bro, like, hey man, get your big goofy ass out of here, nigga. Just boxing this nigga the fuck up real quick.
sleeping bags, everything is a weapon in his hands. He's a master of stealth, despite his size. He appears and disappears
What
like a
movie was
ghost,
this
picking
one?
off camp counselors one by one. He doesn't have a complex
I need to
pattern.
watch it, bro.
If you're on his turf, you're on his list, and he's very good at crossing names off that list. You wouldn't survive because Jason is the personification of inevitability. You could be the fastest runner, the strongest fighter, the smartest person in the group. It doesn't matter. He would just keep coming. He would hunt you relentlessly. You could think you've killed him, turn around to breathe a sigh of relief, and then you'd feel his cold blade.
You know what I would do, honestly, bro? Once he's incapacitated, like, if we can do some type of drowning or have, like, because as you can see, he's climbing out of water right now. But if we could do some type of, like, knocking him out, throwing him into some type of container, drown him, and then set the container on fire while it's underwater. I know that sounds crazy, but if we could just have some type of fuel or some type of, like, substance that can burn underwater, that's how you get rid of Jason. You gotta burn this nigga underwater while he's drowning. I don't know how you do that. I don't know what substance can do that. But if we can find some type of substance that can burn underwater, that's how you get rid of Jason, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm dead ass thinking about this analytically because I know how to defeat these niggas, bro. Like, I've been watching y'all for too many years.
Against Jason Voorhees, there is no escape. There is only waiting for the sound of ki ki ki, ma ma ma, approaching in the darkness.
Sandra.
And there you have
Okay, that was a good one, though. It's called ocean. It's called the ocean, brother. But like, you can't like set things on fire and it still be on fire in the ocean, right? We need a substance. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that substance, but I'm sure it exists. We could create it. I'm pretty sure that it's something that can, like some type of fuel or oil or gel or something that's waterproof. You know what I'm saying? The seafloor has magma. No, I was about to say, yeah, I know like certain places, like there is like burning shit underwater. So if we could like, but even magma, because I feel like if you cover him with magma and then throw him like say there's a fight on a volcano and he gets covered in magma and then thrown into the ocean. So he's covered in magma, burnt, and he's drowning. All it's gonna do is encase him in a meteorite.
Why are
Eventually,
you gay?
what's good, Cheddar Rob? Eventually, I feel like that nigga's gonna wake up and break out of because he's strong as shit. He's gonna break out of the technically when magma does crystallize, it becomes obsidian. He's gonna break out of the obsidian and he's gonna come back. I don't know how then he doesn't really swim. He just kind of walks the floor of whatever fucking body of water he's in. But I feel like he's gonna still come back. You know what I'm saying?
Sit your weak monkey ass down.
So racist. But think about it. He can't swim. He can't swim, but he can walk. Remember, only every time he surfaces water, he's always walking very slow. So he just treads the floor of wherever he's at. You know what I'm saying? He could be at the bottom of the fucking trench. Who just literally just walk until he surfaces, bro. That's what I'm saying. Don't get it twisted. Even though he is scared of water, he can traverse water. And it's not like a old set in stone weakness. He will traverse water. But yeah, that's a good one. That was good. That's why I really feel like all you really need to do for that nigga, dead ass, is like if you can drown him or get him in some body water where he's incapacitated or knock him out, get him in water, and then have some type of substance that burns underwater, like at 1,000 degrees on some crazy shit. Have some type of gel or something that burns underwater.
Nigga, you weren't in love. You were just horny.
It's good, try to rob. That'll be the way to get him out the way. That'd be the only best way to get him out the way. You know what I'm saying? But that was a good one too. W/reaction. I do reactions.